In July 2021, aspiring travel vloggers Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie embarked on a journey that captured America's imagination. A 4-month cross-country adventure in their converted white van. Their Instagram following exploded as they shared sun-drenched photos from national parks and intimate moments of van life freedom. But by August 12th, in the tourist town of Moab, Utah, their carefully curated facade shattered. A desperate 911 call pierced through the perfect narrative.
We drove by and the gentleman was slapping the girl.
Through police body cam footage of that day, capturing a tearful 22-year-old Gabby apologizing for her fiancé's behavior, investigators would later uncover years of manipulation hidden behind filtered photos. On September 1st, Laundrie returned to Florida alone in his van, calmly attending family camping trips while refusing to answer one crucial question. Where was Gabby? 10 days of calculated silence followed before her desperate parents reported her missing. Shortly after, tragedy unfolds as Gabby's lifeless body is discovered in Wyoming's Spread Creek campground on September 19th. Immediately, Brian Laundrie becomes a person of interest in the case, and a manhunt ensues. On October 20th, search team found Brian Laundrie's body in Florida's Myakkahatchee Creek Environmental Park. Beside him lay a water-damaged notebook containing his final confession. "I ended her life. I thought it was merciful. That is what she wanted." The medical examiner would later confirm what Gabby's family had long suspected. She died by strangulation, revealing the true nature of their relationship's tragic end. The summer of 2021 promised adventure for 22-year-old Gabby Petito and her fiancé Brian Laundrie as they set out on July 2nd in their converted 2012 Ford Transit van. Their social media documented an idyllic journey through national parks, gaining followers as they shared their van life experience. But on August 12 in Moab, Utah, reality broke through the carefully crafted image. Outside the Moonflower Community Cooperative, a witness called 911 reporting a domestic dispute. When police intercepted the white van near Arches National Park, they found Petito crying hysterically in the passenger seat. Officer Eric Pratt would later admit that Laundrie seemed like a mental and emotional bully, and was an emotional threat to Petito. Despite these observations, officers made their fateful decision to separate the couple for just one night. A choice that would later be scrutinized in a lawsuit filed by Petito's family against the Moab Police Department. On September 1st, surveillance cameras captured the white van entering Northport, Florida, with Laundrie alone behind the wheel. Between September 6th and 8th, the Laundrie family, including Brian, went camping at Fort DeSoto Park, purchasing supplies and acting as if nothing was amiss. Meanwhile, Gabby's increasingly frantic family sent multiple texts and calls to both Brian and his parents, desperately seeking information about their daughter's whereabouts. They even reached out to Brian's sister, Cassie, who later admitted that she had seen her brother at the campground but didn't know what was going on. When police knocked on Laundrie's door on September 11th, they were met not with answers, but with their lawyer's contact information. Stephen Bertolino, the Laundrie family attorney, had already instructed his clients to remain silent. That same day, Joseph Petito and Nicole Schmidt formally reported their daughter missing to Suffolk County Police in New York, describing her as a vulnerable adult. Northport Police Chief Todd Garrison would later state, "2 people went on a trip and only 1 person returned, and that person is not talking to us." On September 13th, Brian Laundrie left his parents' home in a grey Mustang, telling them he was going hiking in the Carlton Reserve, a vast 25,000-acre wilderness area. It would be the last time Brian Laundrie was seen alive. His parents would later report him missing on September 17th, launching a second missing persons case that would cost authorities an estimated $1.2 million in search efforts. Gabby Petito's life before the tragedy painted a picture of a young woman full of promise and compassion. Growing up in Blue Point, New York, she took her role as the eldest of 6 siblings seriously, becoming a role model her younger siblings adored. Her early activism emerged in 2013, when she appeared in a music video alongside her stepbrothers, raising awareness about gun violence following the Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting. After graduating from Bayport Blue High Point School in 2017, she pursued her dreams, moving to Carolina Beach, North Carolina, where she worked in restaurant services while planning her future. Brian Laundrie's background revealed a complex individual. He cultivated interests in art and literature, particularly drawn to works like Jeff Vandermeer's Annihilation and Chuck Palahniuk's Lullaby. Though he presented himself as an outdoorsman, his sister Cassie would later describe him as only a mediocre survivalist. Brian and Gabby's relationship began in March 2019 after reconnecting through Bumble, having first met at Bayport Blue Point High School years earlier. Despite their young age, they moved in together quickly at Laundrie's parents' home in Northport, Florida. Friends and co-workers noticed troubling patterns from the start. A close friend who knew them both from high school described their dynamic as toxic, with very high highs and very low lows. FBI documents released in June 2024 revealed a series of heartbreaking letters where Petito pleaded with Laundrie to stop crying and stop calling her names. Dr. Ziv Cohen, a forensic psychiatrist who analyzed these letters, identified clear signs of codependency and emotional abuse, noting how Petito consistently took responsibility for Laundrie's emotional outbursts while diminishing her own needs. Their engagement in July 2020, announced on Instagram with professional photos and romantic captions, seemed to accelerate rather than resolve these issues. Nicole Schmidt, Gabby's mother, later revealed she had concerns about the engagement, feeling they were too young at 21 and 23. The couple briefly called off their engagement in early 2021, with Gabby removing her ring and moving back to New York for a period, before reconciling and beginning to plan their van life journey. The discovery of Gabby's remains on September 19, 2021 in Wyoming's Spread Creek dispersed camping area came after crucial assistance from travel vloggers Jen and Kyle Bethune, who were reviewing their GoPro footage from August 27th. In what they describe as a very eerie coincidence, their dashcam had captured Petito's distinctive white Ford Transit van parked on a dirt path near Spread Creek at around 6:30 p.m. that evening. The van doors were closed despite the 90-degree heat, catching their attention as unusual for van life travelers. FBI Special Agent Charles Jones announced the discovery at a press conference, confirming the remains were found in a remote area of the Bridger-Teton National Forest, approximately 1,000 feet from where the van had been spotted. Teton County Coroner Dr. Brent Blue's report revealed the brutal truth. Petito had died from manual strangulation or throttling, with associated blunt force injuries to the head and neck. In a detailed press conference, Dr. Blue specified that the body had been exposed to the elements and wildlife for 3 to 4 weeks before discovery. He categorized the death as a domestic violence homicide, noting that Gabby's body was found in a camping area, not in a residence or building, adding that she was not pregnant at the time of her death, addressing social media speculation. The coroner estimated her time of death between August 22 to 29, consistent with the last confirmed sighting of Petito at the Mary Piglet's restaurant in Jackson, Wyoming on August 27th, where witnesses reported seeing an agitated Laundrie arguing with staff while Gabby apologized for his behavior. The search for Brian Laundrie ended on October 20, 2021, when his remains were discovered in Florida's Myakkahatchee Creek Environmental Park. The truth he left behind in his notebook provided a chilling glimpse into his final thoughts. "I ended her life," he wrote, claiming it was merciful and what she wanted after an alleged fall in Wyoming. His final words attempted to justify the unjustifiable, while acknowledging the devastation he caused. "I'm sorry for everyone's loss. Please do not make life harder for my family. They lost a son and daughter, the most wonderful girl in the world. Gabby, I'm sorry." The legal aftermath extended into 2024, with both families reaching a settlement on February 21st after the Petitos sued the Laundries for emotional distress, claiming they knew their son had killed Gabby while withholding that information. Though the terms remain confidential, the Petito family stated they reluctantly agreed to avoid further legal expenses and prolonged personal conflict. Their focus had shifted to the Gabby Petito Foundation, established to help families of missing individuals and raise awareness about domestic violence. Through their tragedy, they've created a legacy of hope and change, ensuring their daughter's story continues to save lives by educating others about the warning signs of toxic relationships. Every crime has a story. Every story has a lesson.